Hello, everybody. Welcome to TDC Podcast with Mike and T-Roy. What up, T?
Well, hello.
Sound a little different?
Oh, God, yeah. So different. Between there, oh my, this is tinny as shit.
It's processing, yeah.
Oh,
There's a whole system under here from Massey's show.
Yes.
That's going on, and so we've had to reduce a lot of our inputs to accommodate.
Well, this is totally different from over there, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
I might switch back.
Yeah, you can. You'll get used to it pretty quick, but I hope it sounds normal to other people. It sounds a little processed in the headphones. Not that it's worse, but it is what it is. So
I sounded great over there.
You sound normal to me here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but it's, I know fucking Travis probably flipping out right now.
Cringing. I wasn't going to say his name.
Yeah, I'll say his damn name.
Know. All right.
Anyway, speaking of Massey, who is coming in Thursday, at the Arc in Ann Arbor this Friday evening, May 20th, 8 p.m. Tickets for $35. You do have to, there is a proof of COVID vax and masks are required, the arc.org for tickets. That is not Massey's call, like I said yesterday. In fact, he sent a message to the Arc, and I'll read it to you. This is what he said. I'm at 254, but that number could go down. Yes, down. So 254 is how many people have paid for tickets or currently paid for tickets.
Yeah.
I sent out an email yesterday reminding people about the vaccine and mask mandates, and I've lost about $450 in refunded tickets already so far. I really wish the ARC had not brought back the mandates. From what I'm hearing from fans, there are very, very few places, I think he's talking about me, there are very, very few places in Detroit metro area, at least, that are still requiring vaccines and masks. So resistance to the idea is extremely high. I just wish we had let people assume their own risks, since nearly everyone who wants a vaccine could have had one by now. I'm catching a lot of heat over this. People do not understand it. I'm not expecting anything to change. I'm just telling you what's happening.
Yeah. And he's right. I mean, I've been all over, been to a ton of different venues. Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. We've been to the Fox Theater, Royal Oak Music Theater.
But I have not been in Ann Arbor. So
not Ann Arbor. That's
a whole different beast.
Point. And they basically said, thanks for your input. Yeah. Bye-bye. Fuck off.
Okay.
So,
did you want us to cancel the show? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Then piss off.
It's the most liberal spot in America outside of Berkeley, California. Is probably Ann Arbor, Michigan. So, I would expect nothing less. But it doesn't mean that people have to play along with it. No, I'm going to go just to support a friend. But that's it. If it was anybody else coming to the Arc, I'd be like, not a chance. Right. So, but it is Mike, and I like Mike. And I know we have some things to discuss with him. We have not forgotten about that.
Sure.
So anyway, that's that. He'll be in day after tomorrow, so that's going to be exciting. Play some good music and stuff too.
Absolutely,
he's always great at that.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant musician.
Looking forward to that. Mike Lindell, son of a bitch. I got an email from Dawn today. She's like, "Hey, we got a new promotion. You might want to promote." And I'm like, okay, enough of the pro. You're killing me.
Prices are slashed again.
So for a limited time, if you buy the my slippers, which I love, indoor, outdoor use, they're great.
Buy them one size up.
Buy them one size up. Yeah, if you're a 10, buy an 11. If you're 11,
they're great. They just run a tad small.
Yep. For a limited time, you will save $90 on a pair of those.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're selling. They're $140 pair of slippers. Right? They're great. $50 right now. $49.98 if you use promo code TDC. Usually $140. $90 off.
That is a bargain
for $49.98. Order one size bigger. Like we said, that's very important.
Yep.
It took Mike 2 years to develop these. The My Slippers is designed to wear indoor and out all day long. Made with My Pillow foam and impact gel to help prevent fatigue. Quality leather suede. I love them.
Yeah.
Just make sure you use promo code TDC. That's where you're going to get the discount.
So. I like the loafer style, so I can take them out if I want.
Yeah, go to the My
run to the store and I'm going to rock the slips.
Yeah, yeah. Go to My store. They've got different colors and different styles, so there's something I'm sure you'll like. Yeah. Unless you just despise Mike Lindell, which I get. There's plenty of people that do that too, and so you can ignore what I just said. Amazon link, DetroitCast.com. Click the link. Shop as normal. I'm sorry, I've sort of lost my voice today for no reason, out of nowhere. I'm just kind of...
Did a lot of talking today.
Yeah.
That's outside the norm for you.
Maybe. Yeah. I only talk like an hour and a half a day.
Exactly.
That's it. I'm a mute other than that.
That's about it, yeah.
Is it a mute?
I think it's a mute.
Yeah. Patreon.com. That's our baby. Patreon.com/TDC Podcast. It's hard to find if you just search on Patreon. If you search for us, even though we have more subscribers than any other TDC anything on their platform by a mile.
They bury us.
They bury us. So it is what it is. We're dealing with it. Patreon.com/TDC Podcast. Go there. It'll take you direct. Sign up. Show your support for the show. Exclusive content you'll love. There's a tier for everyone. Keep sending emails. Walters@DetroitCast.com. There you go. So,
all right.
Put that out there.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to be drinking water, man. I don't know what the hell happened. I just woke up like this today, and I've kind of been...
Like Beyonce, you woke up like this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happens. Could be the season, the allergies. Allergies been getting me this year, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I think as I'm getting older, it's getting worse. I really do. I don't know if it's my immune system is wearing down or my tolerance is getting, however that works. It seems like every year it gets a little bit worse and worse and worse. So.
Well, I'm very allergic to grass.
Yeah.
And so I think it was Saturday. I went out and I had to pick up sticks in the yard so that we can mow the lawn. And there's so many dead limbs. There was just shit tons. And so I spent a couple hours out there just picking up in the tall grass sticks and stuff. And I was a mess after that. You know, just what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's got to get done.
I get grass, mold, dust, cats.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I used to have those shots every week.
Did you really?
Yeah.
For cats?
For all of it. Whatever. When I was younger, I had to go every Saturday. I'd go to the doctor's office and get a shot for my allergies.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that. When did that stop?
I mean, before I knew you.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was young. I still was doing that when I was probably like 6, like 6 to 10-ish, something like that. And then it went to like every 2 weeks, and then it went to every month, I think, and then
you were like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Nah, it wasn't my choice. I was 10. Like, you know what? Yeah, fuck this shit. I'm done with the needles.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if that's like a process.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to like build an immunity to those things, but it didn't work because I'm allergic to all of them.
Yeah. So that's how G is. I didn't really have allergies growing up at all. You know, it came on later, grass, probably in high school, and it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, my fucking voice is all thrown off. I don't know. Whatever. What are you going to do?
I think you sound very sexy.
Yeah, is it sexy
raspy.
or deep? Raspy or, yeah. Anyway, Joe and Jill Soup laid flowers at the Tops Market Memorial, place of Saturday's mass shooting. Yeah. Before they went to a private closed-door meeting with family members of the 10 victims. The Soups held hands as they walked from the presidential limo to the makeshift memorial site.
Now, you don't get to meet with the other ones that didn't actually die? You only counts if you actually die?
No, the only reason you don't meet with them is because they were white. Like, no one gives a shit about
Did they confirm that yet?
I think so. I think it was the 10 killed were black, and then the 3 were not black. So
I just didn't. I knew they said
their life doesn't matter, so fuck them. You know,
13 people shot, 10 killed. All the people that were dead,
right,
were black. But I never heard him say the other ones were white.
Soup denounced, and this was just another one of those where, oh God, here we go again. We're just going to slander half the country. Anybody who doesn't believe what we believe is a racist. White supremacy is running rampant in the nation. Yep. It's just disgraceful. I don't know how else to view it. When you take these tragedies, you put on this fake frown and act like, and then you're just going to preach from the bully pulpit about white supremacy. I mean, it's not sticking with people. By the way, if that messaging isn't working, I don't know how long they're going to keep doing it, but it's just a matter of how many times can we say MAGA, ultra MAGA, white supremacy?
You have to keep that
blah,
correlation
blah, blah.
alive. You have to keep that connection in place. That's the goal, to keep that in the forefront. Don't forget.
By the way, they did 6 months with a research firm on whether or not to call it ultra MAGA.
Did they really?
Yes.
And the result was yes?
Yes. The end results after 6 months of deep diving to see if this would be an effective attack weapon.
Okay.
And of course, it's immediately turned into T-shirts and bumper stickers like proud ultra MAGA people.
No doubt.
Wah wah.
Let's not forget it means make America great again.
Yeah.
Ultra. Not keep America white.
Yeah. No, that doesn't matter. We know what it means. It's coded. It's a dog whistle.
It is a dog whistle.
They say Peyton Gendron carried out an act of racially motivated violent extremism. Well, yeah, anytime someone murders someone, I would say it's violent extremism. I mean, I don't know why you have to specially categorize it. I guess, it sounds like, and I tried to find the 180-page manifesto. So you can find snippets of it here and there, but to act like he was of sound mind, he was just in a 4chan, 8chan world of fucking racist memes, and it turns out I think that he's one of these like eco, what do they call it? Eco fascists, which a lot of these guys are. Yeah.
Eco-fascist?
Yes. They view immigration as environmental warfare. Yeah. They believe the ruling class is using immigration to politically and culturally replace white people.
Okay.
Okay. So what that means is if you have political leaders at the top that don't give a shit about an open border, which clearly this administration does not. So you've got 400,000 people, I think, in April crossing your border. You know, you clearly don't care. And so some of these extremists have made that connection. Like, you're trying to drown America in illegal immigration to change the voting, change all that stuff. It's
flood the market.
Flood the market, exactly. Radically change it. And so some of these people work themselves into such a frenzy, they think that's going on, and they're going to be the fucking warrior that goes out and fixes the problem.
Yeah.
It's warped thinking. It's mentally deranged. I mean, you know, how this kid is able to, I think they asked for like a yearbook quote, like, what are you going to do in the future or something. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, yeah, shoot up my entire school. It was like, okay, nice. So they called the cops.
I was gonna say, that was
mental evaluation.
Yeah, they got his first look at him.
Yeah. And then they were like, no, he's cool. He's great. He's great. 1 year later, you know, you get
Here you go.
So Soup called on all Americans to give hate no safety harbor and to reject the lies of racial animus and that radicalize and divide us, and led to this act of violence we saw on Saturday that took the lives of 10 of our countrymen. The president is going to push Congress for stricter gun control laws. Of course, that's always the next step. Soup previously asked lawmakers to require new background checks for gun buyers and ban military-style assault weapons, large-capacity ammunition magazines. Those are all illegal in New York already. So your laws wouldn't have done shit for this guy.
Yeah.
Right? It's already in the books. It's very hard to get even a concealed carry in New York City is almost impossible.
What was the gun he used? Do we know?
I don't know. Probably, I think it wasn't an AR-15, but something like that. Obviously, you know, they call it an assault rifle. It's just a rifle. Yep. It's a sporting rifle, but you know, they'll never get those through. By the way, Soup said he ran for president after then President Trump failed to denounce white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. He called it a battle for the soul of America. Totally debunked lie. We don't need to go through that again. Total bullshit. That whole thing. I mean,
There's good people on both sides.
Yeah. There was that, and that he didn't denounce white supremacy, which is bullshit. Of course he did. On either side of that comment, he did. Let me be clear, but they always cut it short. They don't show you the whole clip.
Or when he told the Proud Boys to stand down, like it was an order.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The good people on both sides.
Stand down.
Stand down. Yeah. Give them the white power okay sign.
Yeah.
Both people on good sides was played as like the torch wielding racists marching through the streets versus Antifa rioters. There's good people on both sides.
Yep.
What he was really talking about was the argument over pulling down a statue in in Charlottesville, Virginia, which is what was it a Robert Lee statue or something?
Whoever it was.
Whatever it was. But he was saying, hey, look, I understand the argument. There's good people on both sides of the argument, whether to keep it up or for history or take it down. That's what he was saying. Tell that to a leftist, they will tell you you're fucking nuts to your face. I've tried it. It doesn't work, so whatever. Yet he's been successful at stamping out the rise in white supremacist groups. He's been unsuccessful, Soup, that is.
Yeah.
Stamping out the rise in white supremacist groups or curbing gun violence. Shooting deaths are on the rise in America. Well, in some cities.
I mean, across the board, it's up.
In certain cities.
But yeah, like Chicago, New York, all the...
L.A.,
Baltimore.
They're up
a lot.
Detroit.
A lot.
Like a shit ton of... Who runs those cities? It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. We want inclusion, bring these cities together. But that's where you're seeing the vast rise in these problems.
Gun laws. That's what we need. Gun laws.
Gun laws, yeah. Well, the good thing is, you know that the criminals will be like, shit, they made these guns illegal?
Only. I was going to kill somebody.
Oh, spoiled again.
I was going to rob and kill someone.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get myself a gun.
I got to put this semi-automatic back in the drawer because it's illegal now.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I guess we can have fistfights in the streets because this administration stifled us. They made these guns illegal. So do we have to turn them in? Yeah. So the criminals are going to be bummed.
Yeah.
You know, we'll put them away for a year when maybe they decriminalize it, and then we can bring our guns back out.
Cut them off right at the knees.
Yeah, that'll show them.
Definitely.
That'll get them for sure. Democrat congressional leaders are renewing their efforts to pass the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't see a problem with that at all. It creates offices. That's what we need. More bloated government. Creates offices inside the Justice Department, Department of Homeland Security, and the FBI to monitor, investigate, and prosecute cases of domestic terrorism with a focus on white supremacist-related incidents. Here's the problem. Anything you disagree with, you consider domestic terrorism and white supremacy.
And blame it on white supremacy.
Yeah.
So
if you're looking to target and monitor people, you haven't outlined at all what that means. Like if you're talking about someone on the dark web that's ginning themselves up and planning an attack somewhere, good, do your job. Take them out. But if you're talking about someone who disagrees with you politically and you just don't want to have the debate and you just want to flat blanket call them all domestic terrorists.
Yep. That seems to be the move.
Terrifying organization.
Yeah, that's all they have to do. That's the easy out.
Republicans obviously oppose this, as does the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, which they've been on the wrong side of history the last 10 years.
Welcome aboard.
They argued that the bill would have harmed communities of color by unnecessarily expanding law enforcement authorities to target and discriminate against the very communities Congress is seeking to protect.
Therein lies the rub, yes.
Yeah, this is such a win for the Soup administration to be able to fly to Buffalo and be able to get on this rant about white supremacy, domestic terrorism, anything, and I mean anything, to not have to address abysmal numbers, inflation through the roof, economy in the shitter, gas prices, the baby formula shortage, an out-of-control southern border, like, to not have to address that shit and just stand there and fucking shame half the nation who don't deserve that.
Yeah.
That's what he gets to do.
That's a win.
Yeah.
That's a free pass.
Giant win.
No doubt.
I hate to make everything political. It's just.
Yeah.
It's so bothersome. You know, I remember, I can't recall one, and maybe there are on the fringes, but I can't recall one mainstream media outlet like Fox News hosts or anything, that when that lunatic went to the softball game, when the Republican, it was like Republicans versus
the
Democrats.
Whip in the hip?
Yeah, shot Steve Scalise, the whip, right in the hip. Almost killed that son of a bitch. I don't remember, and that guy was a Bernie Sanders supporter, like through the roof, Bernie Sanders, like well-known. And he was a huge, huge Rachel Maddow fan. That was his jam. Rachel fucking Maddow and Bernie Sanders. That was his thing. And he went there.
Clearly he has a type.
Right. He went there to mow down. He specifically called and asked, when are the GOP taking the practice field? And they're like, yeah, Tuesday at 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. And he went there and tried to fucking murder as many of them as he could. I don't remember anyone going, this is what happens, Rachel Maddow, and blaming Rachel Maddow or Bernie for that.
No.
They're all targeting Tucker Carlson now for this. This is Tucker Carlson's. This is just amazing to me. Like, no, it's the person who pulled the trigger's fault. It's that mentally deranged psychopath. True. And the fact is, there's nothing law enforcement can do if the family's not involved in seeing it firsthand. They're the ones that are boots on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else, what do you want them to do? Right. If you haven't broken a law yet, you can't fucking arrest the guy.
The guns were legal, as far as I know, right?
They were, to a point. They were legal until he modified it to have more rounds of ammunition in, or whatever. The modified magazine or
something,
whatever.
At the capacity or something.
Exactly.
And that's all it is. The modification is just a big, it's a big magazine, I think.
Right.
It's not like the bump stock or something to make it fully automatic. Nope. It's nothing like that. It's just you're only allowed to have so many bullets in a clip. Yeah.
And that's going to save lives in New York City.
No doubt.
Glad they got that law in the books.
Because I found out that you can just go put a new one in there that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the movies, but I actually got to do it.
Yeah. It's fun, right?
Right.
It's a great feeling when you do that.
Yeah.
And you can have a vest with 50 of those on them.
Yep.
And just
Yep.
It's how it works. So anyway, Chuck Schumer.
There's no limit to how many of those you can own, but you can't own one that'll hold too many.
Yeah.
There's no limit to how many normal ones you can own.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
And it's really solving the problem of gun crime in this.
Yeah. And let's make sure that nobody else has a gun. So in that moment of reclipping, nobody can get a shot off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck Schumer declined to appear on the Tucker Carlson show tonight. Chuck has been on a campaign all day of blaming Tucker Carlson and Fox. He wrote a letter to the Murdochs.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. You need to take responsibility for what you air and what it's doing to people. Meanwhile, this guy in his manifesto was like, fucking Fox News is a piece of shit, and they're following me around, and like, he's just batshit.
Yep. Did he mention Tucker or anything in this or at all previous?
I don't think so, no. But Tucker has spent a considerable amount of time worried about the border, right? A lot of his programming goes, what in the fuck is going on at the southern border? What are we doing? Like, he spends plenty of time. And you know, I hope people can understand that. The reasonable thought would be, well, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to have, by the millions per year, illegal people flood your borders? What is the potential win for that? If there's another win for that you know of, I'd love to hear it. Do you want to guess as to what that could be?
Well, hasn't it basically backfired anyway?
I would think it will.
And even if you're talking votes, how do illegals vote?
Well, they're trying to pass laws to let illegals vote. New York City, California. Yeah. But if there's another reason why there would be no trap door there to stop just a flood of... So anyway, Tucker spends quite a bit of time on that. Now, if you try to twist that into that eco-fascist shit, there's your connection. So it's Tucker Carlson's fault.
Of course.
Right. So Tucker invited me on his show tonight to debate the letter I sent at Fox News. I'm declining. Tucker Carlson needs to stop promoting the racist, dangerous replacement theory. So replacing white people with brown and minorities. For years, these types of beliefs have existed on the fringes of American life. However, this pernicious theory, which has no basis in fact, has been injected in the mainstream thanks in large part to a dangerous level of amplification by your network and its anchors. He said, Fox News and Carlson share some of the blame for the mass shootings in recent years. I urge you to take into consideration the real impacts of the dangerous rhetoric being broadcast nightly. 2018, a white man who killed 11 worshipers in Pittsburgh synagogue blamed Jews for allowing immigrant invaders into the U.S. In 2000, a white man who expressed anger over the Hispanic invasion of Texas killed 23 people at El Paso Walmart. We remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And later said he sought to kill Mexicans. Yeah, so there's your connection there. But then, if you notice, he won't actually go on the show to debate his point.
No, of course not.
Because it's a pointless point and get his fucking ass handed to him if he went against Tucker Carlson on that issue.
That is true.
He just would.
Yep.
And here's the other thing. Chuck Schumer graduated college, went into politics, and that's where he's rotted for 50 fucking years.
Lifer.
And this dude right here, when AOC's dumbass decides to run for Senate, they're going to primary this motherfucker, and he's going to be gone anyways. So he's making his last stand, firing all his weapons, all his bullshit. He'll be gone in no time anyways. So, but God, he's just a rotten soul.
Can we do more politics?
Yeah, right?
What do we got?
We got a new word from Big Mike, Michelle Obama.
Well, speaking of that,
Yeah,
this part of the show is brought to you by The Party Pub. If you want to impress everyone at your graduation party, wedding reception, poker night, MMA viewing party, or for any other reason, you need to contact The Party Pub, a massive inflatable pub that can be set up wherever you choose. They also have all the best party games, beanbag toss, badminton, giant inflatable screens, and much more. Call Jeff at 586-524-6701 or visit thepartypubrentals.com and take your event to the next level.
Let's see. We've got a few things we need to get to. I should have pulled up some pictures, but fuck it. You'll get the idea.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we learned a new word from Michelle Obama. I wasn't familiar with this word.
Okay. This is new?
We've struggled with Latinx.
Yeah. I just thought it was Latinx. No,
Latinx?
It's Latinx.
I think it's both. No one's really clarified what it is, but Big Mike got slammed after posting a slide on Twitter and another on Instagram using the woke term Womixen.
I'm sorry?
WOMXN. Womixen?
WOMO. To get rid of the fucking man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
To take the woman out of it.
Womixen is an alternative spelling to woman/women, was proposed as a way to reclaim the identity of womanhood as inclusive and intersectional and not defined in relation to men.
Okay, thank you. Let me off this planet.
She wrote, or he wrote, I'm sorry, on Twitter, Obama said that the leaked SCOTUS draft decision to overturn Roe v. Wade would give state lawmakers the power to strip Womixen of the right to make decisions about their bodies and their health care.
All right.
On Instagram, Michelle Obama stated state lawmakers will have the power to strip Womixen.
Okay.
Are you calling yourself a little minx? Is that what's going on here?
Maybe.
She calling herself a minx?
Okay.
Of the right to make decisions about their bodies and health care.
I had to see how close the E and the X were in case it was a typo.
No, it's not. Did you confirm it's not?
I did, yeah. There's 2 letters away. Hey, you're not going to fuck that up. Although with those big dick beaters, maybe.
It's been a tough couple of weeks since we saw the leaked SCOTUS opinion, blah, blah, blah. If it comes to pass, we may soon live in a country where millions of Womixen, not to mention our children and grandchildren, lose the right to make decisions about their bodies and their health. Even if we knew the courts were heading towards this day, it doesn't make the frustration, grief, and fear any less real. But we don't have to stand idly by while others try to turn back the clock on progress. What are you proposing, sir? Riots?
Womixen.
Yeah, what are the Womixen going to do? Come on, Womixen, what are you doing? I want to know.
Oh, I love that you can just make shit up these days.
Yeah, sure.
We need to make something up.
Dude, you took the words out of my mouth. We need to just start making shit up.
Yeah. We'll put some thought into it. We're just going to throw anything out all willy-nilly.
Yeah.
We'll put something together. Don't bother.
No, I'm trying to brainstorm right fucking now because you're right. All the good stuff's going to be taken if we don't jump on it.
That's true. Yeah, get out there fast.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're just inventing words every day, Womixen. Every woman in my life is now a Womixen.
Yeah.
That's it. It's up. Yeah, I love my mom. She's a great Womixen.
Not to be confused with Joe Mixon.
No, who beats women.
Yes, Womixen.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon beats Womixen.
Hard, too. He actually had to serve some time and sit out games for beating the shit out of Womixen.
Yeah.
God, Joe Mixon.
See, I think it was
Womixen.
Yeah, he might. Oh, all right, moving on. I'll leave it there.
The Women's March is promising a summer of rage. This will be interesting to see,
like 3 months of PMS straight.
Just Womixen bleeding all over our cities, just marching, whipping. Yeah. Just pop that out. Give it a shot.
Keep your laws off my uterus. Oh, I tried a backwards one there. Like, never works.
You fish hooked yourself. You did. You're supposed to do that to Womixen, not yourself.
See, I'm equal opportunity.
So I wonder what, a mountain of women. We saw that a few years ago when they wore the hats and they just cried and screamed at the sky and then went home and did laundry and shit like that.
Right.
Hilarious.
Hurry up, dinner's ready. I'm hungry.
It was great. Because they didn't have a stated goal. That was my favorite part about it. It was like, dude, I'd be out there marching with you. Why wouldn't I want to be surrounded with a million women?
Hey, we're here.
We're just here.
Get used to it.
So, but they never said what they like, dude.
No
you're
demands.
Telling me I can go to a party with a million women at it, and like, yeah, I'm all in. Mm-hmm. What are we doing here? We're wearing these pink hats and we're screaming at clouds.
What is a woman?
Anything else? It's a Womixen, sir. So the Women's March mission is to harness the political power of diverse women and their communities to create transformative social change. To help advance that cause this summer, the progressive group is promising rage. Yet the group was short on specifics as to what that actually meant. They helped organize abortion rights rallies in numerous cities on this past Saturday. Those who attended were mainly motivated by, obviously, the leaked opinion. On Sunday, Women's March warned that the nation would soon experience a summer of rage. yesterday we took to the streets and showed the strength of our movement. Did you? I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you.
I love the graffiti in cursive. That's my favorite part of it all.
It's the prettiest spray paint graffiti I've ever seen. Honestly, it is.
It really is.
It wasn't dribble marks or anything.
No.
It's like, you know.
Perfect cursive.
What was it? If we're not safe, then you're not safe, or something like that.
Something like that. But it was adorable.
Yeah,
it was.
In the prettiest little girly cursive.
Right.
Yeah.
Proper punctuation and everything.
For the women of this country, this will be a summer of rage. We will be ungovernable until this government starts working for us, until the attacks on our bodies let up, until the right to an abortion is codified into law, President Rachel Carmona said. Abortion groups nationally have called for large-scale backlash to the momentous news, calling for protesting at the homes of Supreme Court justices and even Catholic masses. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. I mean, they threw a Molotov cocktail into one abortion clinic, and they had that cursive, beautiful cursive.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost the message.
Did the whole Handmaid's Tale thing at
that's
the
cute.
church services, too.
Yeah, the little dress that they're doing.
Rage.
Perfect amount of rage. I want to see what 1 million women, Wimixon, nationwide in rage mode looks like. I really do. They're not notoriously the most, toughest people on planet Earth, you know?
It usually just comes out as like, yeah, they don't do rage well.
By the way, this whole thing, we want people protesting outside the Supreme Court justices' houses. DeSantis was like, oh, okay, thank you. I'm going to sign this bill on Monday, making it a crime to picket or protest outside an individual's home.
All right, there you go.
In direct result of that, he's like, sign Florida House Bill 1571. The law bans protests outside a person's home. Under the law enforcement officers must first issue a warning for protesters to disperse.
Yep.
If they do not, they will be arrested. Violations of the law will be prosecuted and punished as second-degree misdemeanors. The law will go into effect on October 1st, which means, ladies, women, Wimixon.
That doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Nah, it doesn't. It's like Latinx. It just doesn't. But whatever they want to be called. You know, if they want to be called Wimixon, Big Mike makes that claim, wants them to be called Wimixon. Great.
Okay.
So we can do that. I don't know where I was going that. So
the October 1st?
Yeah. So Wimixon, this gives you basically all summer for your summer of rage in Florida.
Take advantage of it.
Take advantage because it's probably the last summer of rage that you'll get to get into. You know?
Could you imagine summer in Florida? Can you imagine the under boob sweat? Oh, jeez. Raging in Florida in the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's worse than under titty sweat because have you seen the people that are highlighting the protests so far?
Yeah. It's Fermunda sweat.
Here's what I'll say. If I was in any of these states where these rallies are for the Wimixon raging are going to be going on, if you were a smart businessman, you would open up in every strip mall you could, just selling hair dye, blue, green, red.
It's a good move, yeah.
Really load up on that stuff because the army of Wimixon that's coming to your town, they all need pink, red, green, blue hair dye. Yeah. And they're going to need a lot of it. So if you guys could stock up.
Could you lace it with Nair?
Is that the shit that eats hair?
That makes it fall out or whatever.
He'd probably love that
too.
Be all
bald.
Yeah. The Florida legislature states that the state has a significant interest in protecting the tranquility and privacy of the home and protecting citizens from the detrimental effect of targeted picketing. It is unlawful for a person to picket or protest before or about the dwelling of any person with the intent to harass or disturb that person in his or her dwelling. Before a person may be arrested, local, state, federal official, military enforcement agency must go as near the person as may be done with safety and shall command any person picketing or protesting before or about the dwelling of a person to immediately and peacefully disperse. If any such person does not thereupon immediately and peacefully disperse, he or she may be arrested for violation of this section.
I like the immediately part.
Yeah.
Like you would be like, all right, turn around and go. No. Bam. Down. Yeah. You're gone.
You're in mid.
Immediately.
Bands off our bodies. Bands off our bodies.
All right, time to go.
Immediately disperse. Immediately disperse. Bands off our... Ow, let go of my hand. You're hurting my wrist.
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? You're hurting my wrist. Yeah. Well, sorry.
Well, We said immediately. We meant it.
You stop in mid-chant while mixing. All right? Mid-chant while mixing. You stop. Dr. Jordan Peterson took a healthy dish of shit from people.
Okay.
Yeah. The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue is coming out. Did you see the cover?
No, I did not.
Well, you Google it really quick, just so you have context.
All right. Fair.
Yeah.
I'm sure I don't want to, but.
No, you do not.
I know.
You do not. Her name's Yummy.
I bet it is.
Yummy New. So if you want to type in UYMI space NU, you all can watch with us. I didn't bother pulling them up, but they.
Oh, wait. What? This is giving me some. Oh.
Anyway.
All right. There we go. Got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
So Sports Illustrated tweets out like, oh my God, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Yummy New is the cover girl and all this shit. Jordan Peterson tweeted, sorry, not beautiful. And no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. What you think?
I wouldn't buy it.
No, I don't think anyone would buy it. But I'm starting to think that's kind of the point. Like, no one's going to buy the magazine anyways.
Maybe.
So why not put a fat chick on the cover? Who cares?
Yeah.
No one's going to buy it. I mean, who is the guy out there or Womixon that's still buying Sports Illustrated like in hard copy?
I don't know.
I mean, seriously, if that person exists, I mean, maybe there's a 90-year-old that's just had a yearly subscription for
forgot to cancel
70 years. It just keeps showing up. Maybe.
Yeah.
Peterson illustrated his objection in response to a Twitter user who criticized him. It's a conscious, progressive attempt to manipulate and retool the notion of beauty, reliant on the idiot philosophy that such preferences are learned and properly changed by those who know better. But don't let the facts stop you. He then published studies, 2 scientific studies in his reply. The first one, published in the journal Infant Behavior and Development in 98, showed that babies spent more time looking at faces judged to be attractive by adults. The second, an 09 study published in the journal Evolution and Human Behavior, found that more attractive women had more children than their less attractive counterparts, while the least attractive men had less children than every other group of men, indicating that physical attractiveness may be related to reproductive success rates.
Yeah. Thank God for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, we need to be going forward, not backwards.
Peterson's tweet came in response to a New York Post interview with Yummy New. Yummy New?
Sure, we'll go Yummy New.
Okay. Who will appear as one of the cover models of the swimsuit issue alongside Kim Kardashian, Sierra, Mae Musk, the mother of Elon.
Oh, boy.
New is of Dutch-Japanese ancestry. She's the granddaughter of Rocky Aoki, founder of Benihana. Okay. So she needs the press.
Yeah.
And the niece of DJ Steve Aoki.
All right.
So very successful family. She expressed her extreme excitement at the opportunity and described herself as a champion of body and race diversity. It's amazing. I'm on cloud 9. This is nothing I could prepare for. It's unexpected. I feel like we're in a place right now where people are making space for more diversity on magazine covers.
Yeah, obviously they sprung it on her. She could have had time to diet.
No, exactly. It's a big time for Asian American people in media. I know I play a big role in representation and body diversity and race diversity. A very big role. Yeah, a much bigger role than people would have liked, in fact. So she's so proud to be representative of the plus-size Asian community. That's a term that never existed.
I was going to say, is that
like a week ago?
Talk about a minority.
Yeah, plus-size Asian community? Really? Okay.
A chunk, if you will.
Look, I don't have a problem with you putting a fat chick on the cover.
No,
I really don't. Like, and she's fine. Whatever.
She's not.
She's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine.
She's not gorgeous.
She's
thick. With 2 C's.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to wake up and brag to all your buddies tomorrow morning? Probably not.
No.
But, whatever. To each their own. But it's kind of hard to explain, but you got to put it in the in the context of what we knew growing up with Sports Illustrated, where that magazine was founded. Who was the target audience for Sports Illustrated?
Yeah, it was fucking males. I mean, your target demographic, the 25 to 50 or whatever that is.
Yeah, 25-54.
Yeah.
1834.
Okay.
Right? Those are your money groups. Those are the ones that spend the most money, have the most money. 1834, 25-54. Males. Right? That's what it is. You've got name a chick magazine. I don't know, Claire.
Sure.
Fucking
Red Book.
Red Book, right? That's your target. If all of a sudden Red Book started throwing on their cover fucking, I don't know what. Something against whatever their principles were. I don't know what Red Book does. Is it a cookbook?
I have no idea. I just made that up.
Yeah.
That sound like I've heard it before. Better housekeeping?
Yeah, better housekeeping, sure. No,
good housekeeping.
Good housekeeping.
Well, it should be better.
Whatever. I don't care what they are. Like, Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue is no different than like Maxim magazine was.
Nope.
Or Playboy. It was a very targeted group that did very successful with what they were. Find the hottest chicks on planet Earth.
Yep.
Right? Young, hot. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And
dress them down as much as possible.
Dress them in the skimpiest shit you can find. Body paint, even better. Remember the body paint phase?
Of course, yeah, definitely.
Oh, it was the best. You get Kathy Ireland painted up.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like and then, on top of that, airbrush them. So if they've got so much as a fucking scratch, if they got a nick from shaving their legs, fuck that.
No, can't have it.
No, we want you to be, like, that's what it was for 50 years. The hottest chicks on planet Earth, that's it. And so you have to bear with some of us because it's like all the comments are like, no one would fuck you anyways, Jordan Peterson. And they would say the same to me. But that's not the point. It's just like, well, you can't expect us to not notice.
Right.
Like all of a sudden you've got fucking C-section scars on your cover. You used to cover everything you could with their photoshopping and makeup to make sure there wasn't a single blemish on a woman's body.
Take the most perfect women in the world and make them even more perfect.
Yeah. That was the goal. It was an ideal. It was a fantasy. And guys got to jack off to those or whatever they did.
Oh, yeah, that load number's going way down.
Oh. Good. And for the empowered, what does she call it, fat Asian community or something?
We'll go with that. Plus size.
Same
thing. Potato.
Do they know that it's a fucking gimmick? That
they're being manipulated, maybe?
Used and manipulated? Do they know that?
No, it's empowering, Michael.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's not the Kathy Irelands, the Elle McPhersons, the Cindy Crawfords of the world. That's not realistic. That's not real life.
Right.
We need to make this more inclusive for everybody so that the fat chicks feel hot too.
Right. And the amount of fucking guilty white assholes on Twitter going, oh my God, this is literally the hottest chick I've ever seen. I'm like, really?
Ooh.
Did you wake up today? Were you born today? Is this the first chick you've ever looked at? Because
yeah, it would have to be. I mean, she's not ugly. She's not unattractive.
No,
she's not morbidly obese.
And the girl with the C-section scar is stunning. Sure. She's gorgeous. They want to have a fucking amputee in the magazine, and it's like it's so counter to everything they were forever that it's very noticeable. And it's like, okay, so who is your target demo? Who is buying this magazine? Because your normal base would have no interest in a fat chick on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Not to be harsh, it's unhealthy. I know it. I live it. I'm unhealthy. I don't deserve to be on a fucking magazine cover.
There's not
any more than that chick does.
I mean, if sales mean anything, it'll speak for itself.
Yeah.
People aren't going to go buy this shit.
No.
They're just not. I mean, I don't know who actually buys this anyway. And in all honesty, maybe.
Well, her and her family and her friends will buy copies.
Maybe we just got.
Why?
Just like before. Just like your the chick with the I was raped and got cancer and eat more vegetables. When we got the old end around.
Yeah.
If they didn't put a moose on the cover, would we talk about the swimsuit issue?
If they reverted back to just smoke the hottest chicks on planet Earth, yeah, I would.
Would you?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's dwindling. It's a dying breed.
Yeah, it is.
There's no nudity. Nobody gets the magazine anymore. Subscriptions have got to be way down. So if nothing else, it's clickbait, and we fell for it.
Well, I wouldn't say we fell for it. Okay, so
we talked about it.
We noticed they're up to something, and now we're figuring. Okay, so let's see.
I think we just got, bro.
How many subscriptions are there annually for Sports Illustrated in America? Done. God, this bitch is so slow.
What is she on strike?
I don't know. He's been doing this to me for days.
You need to update your phone. We have Wi-Fi in this house.
Yeah, I do. Hey, Aaron's going to fix it anyways.
Annual subscriptions to Sports Illustrated by year.
80 million. Now it's like...
From Bicep. Subscribe to Sports Illustrated.
Look at a goddamn advertisement. That's not what I wanted.
This.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, Jesus. Shoot her in the face, T. Shoot that woman in the face.
Here we go. 3 million subscribers.
Really?
Sports Illustrated is the largest weekly American sports magazine owned by media company Time Warner. It has over, well, there you go. That explains the cover. It has over 3 million subscribers and is read by 23 million adults each week, with over 18 million of them are men, 19% of the adult males in the United States.
Wait, so 23 million a week and 18 of those 23
with
are
over
men?
18 million of them, that's a weird statement, with over 18 million of them are men.
Yeah, that's a shit statement.
Right? 19% of the adult males in the United States.
Well, if you try to say anything except Yummy New is the hottest chick you've ever seen, like you can say that on Twitter. If you say anything else like, geez, I wouldn't want to teach my kids that this is a healthy body style, you will be murdered. So there is a serious push to make sure that you don't say anything critical of any of these supermodels nowadays.
No, exactly.
So how many of those 18 million men that are subscribed or they're mostly going online to read articles if they're doing that, how many of them are just going to bail on the whole swimsuit thing? Like they're not going to.
No, I'm even amazed at that. 3 million subscribers to Sports Illustrated still?
Yeah. Maybe they still give away the football phone.
Ah, that was dope.
Yeah.
That was pretty
cool when you were a kid.
Yeah, no shit.
Another Project Veritas video out.
Oh, who they got now?
Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They got a senior engineer at Twitter. I love the way they do this. It's guerrilla warfare. It's get a hot chick, go on a dating site, find an executive at Twitter, go out to dinner with him, groom him for a couple weeks, and then start asking behind the scenes shit while secretly filming it. It's diabolical.
It is.
But,
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. If you don't want to open the hood and tell us what's going on, well,
we'll find out.
We got to figure it out somehow.
Hey, dumbasses, if she's out of your league, wake up.
But these people probably think of themselves as like the most intelligent engineers on planet Earth who wouldn't want to bang a Twitter executive.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They probably have because that's true, especially in that Silicon, like those nerds were banging the supermodels, the guys that became instant billionaires, and like chicks will go where money is.
Well, that's true.
I mean, excuse me, Wimixon will go where money is. That hasn't changed ever. That's a consistent throughout history. Wimixon will go where they will follow the money. They will not follow the loser into the garbage bin. So if some nerd becomes worth $1 million a year,
it's infinitely more attractive and tolerable.
Yes. His jizz is more valuable. I want a baby with that guy.
Yep.
No 35-year-old woman wants the fucking, the wannabe rock star playing to fucking 14 people on a Friday and Saturday night as his gig.
No.
Right?
Love
Chicks are like,
all.
Yeah, that was awesome when I was 19, 20, 21, 22. But at this point, clock's ticking, shit like that. So I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways.
Get in my belly.
Get in my belly. So a senior engineer at Twitter has admitted the social media giant routinely censor conservatives. Siru Murugesan.
Okay.
Yeah. Was recorded saying the company culture is extremely far left, where workers are commie as fuck.
Wow.
And they hate Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover. I watched the video. His words. In a shockingly frank conversation filmed over several encounters, he said the firm does not believe in free speech and even started to turn him left-wing when he joined. He said, Twitter does not believe in free speech. Elon believes in free speech. Twitter wants to censor bullying and harassment, and the idea of free speech is that you can bully and harass people. Twitter does not believe in this value as a platform because it's not conducive to a business. Ideologically, it does not make sense. His words, not mine. because we're actually censoring the right and not the left. It's true. There's a bias. It is what it is. Staff also fear Tesla CEO will make the company far more capitalist instead of socialist. Murgison was filmed by a female Project Veritas journalist spilling the beans on the tech giant's left-wing agenda. They hate it as far as Twitter and Musk takeover.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm at least okay with it, but some of my colleagues are like super left.
That's pretty left.
Yeah. Murugison said Twitter's office politics were so left-leaning they shaped his own views and changed him. Like, I started working at Twitter and became left. I think it's just the environment. Like, you're there and you become this commie. Right-wingers were openly censored. So everyone on the right wing will be like, bro, it's okay to stay. You just got to tolerate it. Right? That's their attitude. You don't like someone calling out a fucking tranny. Whatever. Let them do their thing. The left will be like, no, I'm not going to tolerate. I need it censored or else I'm not going to be on the platform. So it does that on the right. It's true. There's bias. It's what it is. Our jobs are at stake. He's a capitalist, and we're really operating as capitalists. We weren't really operating as capitalists, more like very socialist. Like, we're all commie as fuck.
Yeah. Not far off.
Essentially, like, everyone gets to do whatever they want. No one really cares about, like, operating expenses like capitalists. They care about numbers or care about what to make the business more efficient. But in Twitter, it's like mental health is everything. Like, if you're not feeling it, you can take a few days off. People have taken months off. They'll eventually come back.
Huh.
And that's the culture. And we'll run the business as much as possible. But at the same time, profits weren't very much. Trump suggested that Musk is looking to negotiate a better deal. I don't know if you heard about this, but
I have not.
Elon Musk has said pause on everything.
Right. Yeah, that I know. That it was on hold, yes.
Yeah. Trump said there's no way Musk is going to buy Twitter at such a ridiculous a price, especially since realizing it is a company largely based on bots or spam accounts. If it weren't for this ridiculous $1 billion breakup fee, Elon would have already been long gone. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, he's saying this is a problem. I
believe it. It's not.
It could be greater than 20% of the entire platform. Yeah. He said he first wants to clear up a couple things before he goes any further.
Yeah.
Fake and spam accounts on the platform, 20% fake accounts, while 4 times what Twitter claims could be much higher than that. My offer was based on Twitter's SEC filings being accurate. Yesterday, Twitter CEO publicly refused to show proof of less than 5% of the deal. Cannot move forward until he does. This deal cannot move forward until he does.
Sure.
Currently, what I'm being told is there's just no way to know the number of bots. It's like as unknowable as the human soul. So yeah, but Twitter stock is tanking now.
You would think that is a quantifiable number. I mean, that you can audit the system and figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, I'm not a nerd, but
yeah,
it doesn't seem like that would be impossible to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know. But it'd be worth finding out.
Absolutely.
One way or the other. So this person that was interviewing the senior engineer at Twitter, how does Twitter not believe in free speech? So he said, for example, if you bully a transgender, the right thinks it's okay, the left does not. Ideologically, it does not make sense because we're actually censoring the right and not the left. So everyone on the right wing would be like, bro, it's okay, just stay calm, just got to tolerate it. Sometimes you're going to see shit you don't want to see, that kind of thing. The left is like, no, we don't tolerate it, we censor it. There is a bias, and that's what it is. So he goes on to say, Elon makes some good points. Sometimes I'm slowly starting to be by his side a little bit. We tried our best, and she says, how so? We did all we could to revolt against it. A lot of employees revolted against it. But at the end of the day, the board of directors have the say, and they act in the best interest because they didn't want to get sued. They literally couldn't make any other choice because if they had denied the offer from Elon, shareholders would have sued him. You know? Blah, blah, blah. It'll be interesting to see over the next couple of days how this is spun into. Twitter's already made an internal statement saying Project Veritas is trying to twist words and take things out of context. It's like, I don't know, I watched the 7 minutes.
It's pretty
clear.
Pretty clear.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's in one of those states where you don't need two-party consent to record.
Probably, yeah.
They obviously are pretty careful with that stuff. They got to know.
Yeah.
They got to know that stuff.
Yep.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by your insurance expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173.
Damn it, I'm out of entertainer secret.
Yeah, boy.
God damn it.
There's another bottle laying there.
Is there?
Yeah, right behind it.
I get it later.
Okay.
My voice sounds damn good and sexy.
Well, see, exactly.
All right, ladies.
Lean into it, man. Lean into it.
All right, ladies. And I sound like T-Roy right now. Mm-hmm. T-Roy's rubbing off on me. This is Big Mike coming at you live. Working overnights all night, ladies. It's pillow talk time. Top Pentagon officials. T, where do we stand on UFOs? Real bullshit.
I mean,
we're gonna figure this out today.
Okay, let's get to the bottom of this right now.
Yeah.
I've always believed, prior to any evidence or anything, that to believe that somehow we're the only sophisticated beings in the entire universe is so fucking egotistical and
hilarious.
hysterical.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. When you think about the timelines of, I mean, like the stars you see like aren't even there anymore. There's still like the light coming here, but we're a blip on the radar of the universe and where we are and what we've been through. Mm-hmm. But somehow there's no intelligent life anywhere else. It's just us is fucking comical.
Admitting we have broken glasses and we're looking out as far as we can and we're like, we can see to that dot.
Yep. I don't see anything there.
Yeah, but there's like a trillion more, an infinite number of dots beyond what you can see.
It's like saying, I can see my neighbor's house. I don't see anything over there. So I guess
no one else lives on the block. All I can see is my neighbor's house next door. So I guess this block is empty. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's always been my thought that that's like the most naive and egotistical thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's proven or it's a guarantee, but to act like somehow we're special.
Yeah.
Oh, we're far from special.
Dude, we are ants. Yeah. Nothing more.
I'm surprised we've lasted this long.
I am too. We won't be much longer, but we're no different. If you look at the behavior of other animals, when I fucking swatted a fly and I don't get him, he's like, "Wah!" and he freaks out and runs. Yeah. Same way if you were under attack, you would do. Ants are the same way. If I try to step on one and I miss, they go, "Oh shit!"
Attack.
And they run. I get them anyways because I'm quicker than they are. Fuck them. But anyway, top Pentagon officials revealed 2 declassified videos of mysterious objects flying past planes in the first hearing on the UFOs in Congress in 50 years.
Okay.
One clip was taken from a Navy cockpit, a training area, and shows spherical object floating by the aircraft. Another showed 2 small triangle-shaped objects flying by the cockpit of another aircraft, spotted through night vision goggles. The videos were collected as part of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAEs. So they're trying to get away from UFO.
Yeah. It's got the whole alien stigma, like.
Yeah, little green men. Yeah. And it's been so stigmatized over the years.
Well, everything technically is a UFO. If you don't know what it is and it's flying, it's a UFO.
Right. But definition. UFO comes with the baggage of the dish shaped with the glass and the little green guy with a big head and skinny body.
Yep.
Big black eyes.
I mean, stereotypes are generally based in some facts.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow, somebody came up with that.
Wait a minute. Stereotypes are a thing? Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Based in reality.
Sorry. So the videos were collected as part of the UAE's unidentified aerial phenomena. Reports that in total 400 in recent years, and said these objects could be connected to extraterrestrial life, even though there is not yet concrete evidence. The House Intelligence Committee's Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, Counterproliferation Subcommittee.
Oh boy!
I'd like to work for that crew.
All of fun, right? Imagine pulling out that card.
Yeah. It's 4 cards long. Hello. Hi, ma'am. This is Pete Johnson. I'm from the House Intelligence Committee's Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, Counterproliferation Subcommittee. She's like, just slam the door in his face. So anyways, they dove into the details on reports of unidentified UAEs, what UFOs are more recently known as. Such high-level conversations have for the past half-century been reserved for closed-door meetings among high-ranking military officials.
We even have to change the name of UFOs.
Yeah.
By definition, it's a fucking UFO.
Yeah.
It's the most generic term possible. Unidentified flying object. It's something in the air that's flying that you don't know what it is.
Okay, but couldn't you say unidentified aerial phenomena is the same thing?
But why?
I don't know.
We just have to fuck with things these days.
But you could say, like, Troy's a man, Troy's a dude, Troy's a bro.
I'm a Mexican.
Troy's a homie.
I'm a Mexican.
He's a Mexan.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to be.
Mixin. He's a mixin. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're changing it up, keeping it creative.
Okay.
I don't know. I agree with you, but
that's the problem.
No, I know what the problem is. I know what it is because it was stigmatized and cartoonized, made to be like a cartoon when they didn't want to have these conversations.
Yep.
And so for years, the cover of every National Enquirer or Globe featured some farmer getting knocked up by an alien.
Right, big old head.
Big old head. He came down the light, and I was picked up, and he knocked me up.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was done on purpose. That's propagandizing citizens. You know what I mean? Like, to make it so comical. Oh, Hillary Clinton got knocked up by an alien.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. It makes a joke of it. And what it did was it made sure that pilots were ragged when they went, dude, I don't know what that was off my wing, but I've never seen anything move like that. They were hushed, told to shut up. We don't keep this to yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, all this shit's unfolding right now. And so destigmatizing all that was done for 50, 60 years is part of the problem.
Definitely.
That they're trying to combat. And so
this really changes things.
Yeah. I wish they'd just make themselves known. I just want to see one.
Yeah.
You know, fist bump a little guy.
Wonder what, I mean, like, when these planes are flying, they have to be on a radar somewhere.
Yeah. These things are jamming their radar.
Oh, are they?
Yes. And the frequency of these things are showing up all over nuclear sites around the globe.
Yeah.
So these guys might be protecting us from our own demise. Like, okay, these assholes down here in this little marble are getting way too close to being able to blow themselves up.
Yeah.
And we can't have that.
Maybe.
So, which would be kind of cool if they're kind of policing up there. They could be all over the skies with whatever technology they have that you don't see. I believe it.
They could be the ants you're trying to stomp on. You don't know.
Maybe. I don't think that, but I do think they're up there keeping an eye on us, maybe. I don't know. So the Pentagon has worked to eliminate the stigma around reporting UAEs. They've not ruled out the possibility that these incidents could be connected to extraterrestrials. There are elements of our government engaged in looking for extraterrestrial life. Our goal is to not potentially cover up something. It is to understand what may be out there. We'll go wherever the data takes us. Unfortunately, you're career liars. Mm-hmm. So in all of these agencies, that's what you do for a living is lie to the American people. So I wish I could believe that.
And they're going to hide under the guise of, well, the public's not ready for this.
Yeah,
we're doing it
security.
we have to protect. If this got out, national panic.
So this is Bray. I can't remember what his first name is, but Mr. Bray is part of this committee. We are all curious and we seek to understand the unknown. And as a lifelong intelligence professional, I'm impatient. I want immediate explanations for this as much as anyone else. However, understanding can take significant time and effort. It's why we've endeavored to concentrate on this data-driven process to derive fact-based results. We want to know what's out there as much as you do. Yes, I have followed science fiction. I have gone to conventions. I'll say it on the record. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't necessarily dress up. So is he trying to say, like, look?
Well, he goes to, whatever.
Spock at Star Trek convention. And
sure, Comic-Cons, other things like that. There's probably a gajillion of them.
Don't necessarily dress up.
He didn't rule it out.
Does that mean, like, okay, maybe I've worn Spock ears?
Maybe.
But I don't necessarily dress up, but have you done this?
Oh.
Have you greeted anyone like this, sir?
Oh, I've greeted a lot of people like that.
Troy, that's not a shocker. That's just painful. Lawmakers from both parties say UFOs are a national security concern. Democratic Rep. Andre Carson of Indiana warned in his opening remarks, UAPs are a potential national security threat, and they need to be treated that way. For too long, the stigma associated with them has gotten in the way of good intelligence. Pilots avoided reporting or laughed at when they did. The Department of Defense officials relegated the issue to the back room or swept it under the rug entirely, fearful of a skeptical national security committee. In 18 of the incidents, Spotters reported unusual UAP movement patterns or flight characteristics, including objects that seem to be flying without propulsion. That's the crazy one. That's when they go from like 50,000 feet to 1 foot in less than a second.
Yep.
We're like,
that's not possible.
We don't know. Well, obviously it is.
Well,
just not to us.
Yeah.
Our little
with our
pea
technology.
brains can't wrap ourselves around it. Some appear to remain stationary in winds aloft, move against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without propulsion. In a small number of cases, military aircraft seem to process radio frequency energy associated with the site, and so they're jamming their radars. And there were a couple where these things almost collided with some of our pilots. Like, phew, really close calls. And they're like, oh, shit, what the hell was that?
Yeah. We'll see. It's funny, the ego too of the our timeline.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who knows? Our entire existence could be, a day somewhere else, however that all pans out.
Dude, I watched a document. It was terrifying. It was horrible. But it was Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the existence, and I'll fuck this all up, but I'll get the nuts of it. He was trying to make time relative. Like, this happened 20 billion years ago. This happened here. We believe the Big Bang happened here. And he's going through the whole timeline. And it's like all this shit. And then he gets to like humans. And it is...
Blip on the radar.
Dude, it is so not even...
fart in the wind, man.
It's not even that. It's way less than that.
Exactly.
Fart in the wind might actually affect something.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the ego's on us to think that we're anything but we are one grain of sand in the fucking world's oceans. As far as time measurement goes. Yep. Nothing. We don't exist.
And space measurement.
Right. Yeah, to act like, well, we want to get to the bottom of this. Really, do you, Bill? Do you?
Right.
Good luck with that. Anyway, some things we do know, though. New reports come out. Remember that Boeing 737 that plunged right out of the skies in China?
Oh, yeah,
Straight down. Remember that?
I do, yeah. With the black box.
Yeah. They found the black box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were optimistic for survivors.
Oh, yeah. They were still looking for weeks.
Oh, you don't remember the joke?
I'm trying to remember.
What was her name?
Yeah, the black box. Yes. Yes. They found the black box. What was her name? Yeah, but it was so funny because, I mean, we watched this thing nosedive from 30,000 feet.
Set the whole mountain on fire.
Yeah, in a jungle.
Looking for survivors.
Yeah, and it's like, so far, not much rock finding survivors, but still trying hard. It's
Very optimistic.
Yeah, okay, you do that. We all watched that thing torpedo.
Yeah.
It went from 29,000 feet to the ground in less than a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's humming.
So, they're saying now, according to U.S. officials, that was intentionally crashed.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. The Wall Street Journal reported
This is
Tuesday.
from the black box?
Who? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wall Street Journal reported that the flight data from the plane's black box indicates someone in the cockpit intentionally crashed the China Eastern Airplanes back in May.
Okay.
The plane did what it was told to do by someone in the cockpit. The assessment from U.S. officials also rely on the fact that Chinese authorities have not indicated that there were any mechanical or technical issues with the plane that could have contributed. Neither Boeing nor air safety regulators have been working on any service
Boeing's
bulletins.
like, fuck yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Oh, someone.
Oh, they're all like high-fiving and shit.
Of course they are. Because the 737 is what they got the problem with.
Like, yeah, I fucking knew it. Oh.
Someone's like, guys, 137 people died. I know, but it wasn't our
It's
fault.
not my fault.
Yeah. So officials have turned the focus to the actions of the pilots. Officials have left open the possibility that someone broke into the cockpit and crashed the plane. So, yeah, interesting. Out of nowhere, that pops out today. Crazy, right?
Yeah. They didn't do a deep dive on the pilot or any of that kind of stuff? It was Chinese, right?
There were 4 pilots named.
Yeah. Oh, well, I know. But, I mean, it was China, right, where this happened?
Yeah.
The way too low and all that shit.
Yeah, holy fuck. We Too Low, Something Wong, and Bang Ding Ao were the pilots named. We played the news reports. It was clear as day.
But not very often you get the kamikaze pilots from China.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That's more of a Japanese thing.
Generally.
Yeah. Okay, before we get to some email. Quite a bit of email. The email is just pouring in. I love it. Thank you.
Okay.
Newly released tax filings for Black Lives Matter.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start looking into the books. Open the books.
Colors. I know people get mad when I do Black Lives Matter stuff. I don't care.
What? Yeah. Hey.
The documents reveal that BLM paid a company owned by Damon Turner, the father of Color's child, Patrice Color's baby daddy.
Yep.
Paid him nearly $970,000 to help produce live events and produce other creative services.
Does he have a production company?
I don't know.
He does now?
Yeah, sure. So that's all we have to do. So if whatever receipts I have for anything for the business, I just write creative services on it.
Sure.
Okay, cool. The co-founder's brother, Paul Colors, received more than $840,000 for providing security services to the foundation.
Oh, so it's like a family business.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Leaders have attempted to justify the expense by saying, look, here's the problem. We had to hire Paul to head our security for almost $1 million because what with us hating the police and all, we can't hire them.
Yeah. We need somebody we can trust.
Yeah. So there's one person on our board who makes all decisions, and that's Patrice Colors. One-person board.
Smart.
Had no board meetings, so she was in charge of all hiring and firing decisions. And it just so happened the most qualified people on planet Earth she could find to do these very, very critical jobs were all family members.
Okay. I can hear the Trump attacks.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Yeah. Trump's worse. Cokehead son Don Jr. Really? You're going to call out Cokehead son John Jr. when we're looking at Hunter literally fucking explode from coke? Hilarious, but whatever. We don't need to go down that road.
No.
We're not making friends at that point. This is great, though. To get an actual accounting of what's going on with Black Lives Matter.
Open up the books. Let's see. That's all we've ever asked for. If everything's above board, then God bless. Something tells me it might not be all according to Hoyle.
Come on. Racist.
Clearly.
A consulting firm run by Shalomaya Bowers, who is BLM's board secretary, was paid more than $2.1 million for providing the organization with operational support, including staffing, fundraising, and other key services. Patrice Colors received $120,000 for consulting fees and was reimbursed $73,523 for a charter flight. In other words, a private jet. That's what that means.
Yep.
So she spent $73,000 on a private jet.
Okay.
Black Lives Matter.
Is that what that runs?
Actually, it sounds more like it's Black Life Matters. Like a Black Life Matters.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Fuck Black Lives. One particular Black Life Matters. Patrice Colors. That's unbelievable. She denies taking money from BLM for personal matters and says all purchases, including the $6 million LA mansion, were legit.
Of course. Well, it's all Black Lives Matter as long as it's being killed by a white cop.
Right.
Those are the black lives that matter.
Yeah. And even those are just really used to raise money to be able to say Black Lives Matter. But whatever. Hey, I'm not part of the organization. I'm not donating to it. If you want to waste your money on that shit and keep buying mansions all over the country for Patrice Colors and the like.
Anybody I give my money to, I would like to see an audit. I would like to know how my money is being spent.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes. Yeah. They got lucky is what they got. Black Lives Matter existed before George Floyd.
Yeah.
For a few years.
Well,
Black Lives Matter.
They got an exemption for a couple of years.
Right.
When that all happened.
And then George Floyd hit, and they just got bankrolled. All of a sudden, it was like the whole nation felt like watched that 8.5-minute murder of George Floyd, and their response to that was to open their wallets and give to what they believed was a good cause.
Yeah, right.
The
cause is wonderful.
Yeah. How can you argue Black Lives Matter? I mean, it's like,
well, I mean,
don't shoot kittens, don't kick puppies.
Fair,
right?
I mean, if you want to get into the weeds of it, but
right,
all lives matter. Such a cop out.
Jesus Christ, what year is this? Say that. This is the foundation's first public accounting of its finances since 2017. Nearly $6 million was spent on the Studio City property. I'm very familiar with Studio City. It's a great area. Lots of celebrities live in Studio City.
How can it be first since 2017? Don't they have to do this every year?
Ah.
Wait, didn't she say she was like triggered by the a 1040 EZ or whatever whatever I have to file my I can't it's too much.
So these
W2 or whatever the hell it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and it became a racist thing, I think. Like asking a black person to do taxes was like, oh my God, haven't you done enough? The revelations came courtesy of a 63-page Form 990, the annual filing required for organizations to maintain tax-free exemption.
Yeah.
Exempt status is a nonprofit. This is the foundation's first public accounting of its finances since incorporating in 2017. So the home, by the way, that she got for Black Lives Matter, really going to help a lot of inner city kids.
Obviously,
a lot of failing school systems, a lot of broken policing policies will all be helped by this one $6 million mansion in Studio City. Which $6 million, I mean, it'll get you a mansion for sure, but not crazy in LA. Includes a home with 6 bedrooms and bathrooms, so you could put 6 Black lives in there.
You really, yeah. Some single mothers,
they doubled up.
Yeah.
I mean, you really could make a difference.
You could make a difference.
You really could. A swimming pool. I mean, who doesn't like a swimming pool? Shit, we got one. It's great.
Yeah,
they're great.
Well,
a sound stage.
Okay.
What were you? Well,
nothing.
Okay. You keep that one internally.
It's more of a liability, I think. But go ahead.
Man,
let's just put the glass over the top and use it like a dance floor. Let's just move on.
What are you saying?
No, nothing. For tax purposes. Insurance. It's liability to have a pool.
You know what? I'm someone that gives benefit of the doubt, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that that's what you meant.
Of course.
That there was not some underlying,
no,
oh my God, they can't swim anyways. Why do you need a swimming pool type thing?
God.
What year is this? Are we going back to?
Are you putting words in my mouth?
No, that's what I'm saying. I was like, clearly, I was hoping that wasn't the case. That I heard one thing.
No, oh my God, I can't believe your mind even went there.
Well, it didn't, but I was like, yeah, it's terrible.
Yes. Moving on.
A sound stage,
of course.
I mean, if that won't improve your grades in inner city schools, nothing will.
No. Listen, it's not about getting good grades. It's about making that big hit record.
That's true. If Black Lives Matter's only achievement globally is one mega rock star, rap star.
Yeah, I was going to say they're probably not a rock star.
Yeah,
but
it'd be weird investment in funds. It's intended as a campus for Black artists fellowship, and it's currently used for that purpose.
Does that seem though?
Yeah.
Is it? Could we document that? Who's been there? What? How open are these doors? How do people come in there? The campus. I'd love to see the traffic that's actually gone in and out of there.
Yeah.
Because I bet you
there's been some traffic. She had a party for herself and her friends when President Soup was elected president. They used that $6 million house for that. And then they also threw Patrice Culler's son a birthday party there.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All the fixings. Blew it all up.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So there is a black person getting enriched by Black Lives Matter. This is great. This is a positive report. It really is.
Win-win.
Also raising eyebrows is the fact that during the last fiscal year, Cullors was the foundation board's sole voting director and held no board meetings, according to the filing. Although that is permissible under Delaware law, where the foundation is incorporated, that governance structure gives the appearance that Cullors alone decided who to hire and how to spend donations.
Well, that's going to work out even better,
because
now it comes to one point at the top. So when this comes crashing down, there aren't a bunch of scapegoats. There's one person to answer the call.
This 990 reveals that the BLM Foundation is the largest black abolitionist nonprofit organization that has ever existed in the nation's history. We needed to get dollars out to grassroots organizations doing the work of abolition, doing the work that would shift the moral tide of this world towards one that does not have or believe in police, prisons, jails, or violence.
That's what we're doing?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're getting the money out to grassroots organizations for people that believe like us, no police, no prisons, no jails, and no violence.
Sounds like Mad Max.
Yeah.
No violence.
No violence.
That's so funny. That's a great caveat.
Hilarious.
Yes. Let me know how that works. Chop. Chaz, whatever.
Chaz, Chop.
Whatever those turds were.
The foundation will launch a transparency and accountability center on its website to make its financial documents available. a tidal wave of contributions in the wake of George Floyd is really what, set them off. And
Oh, yeah.
put them on a new stratosphere. Look, how you donate, whatever. But it would have been really, really cool to me. We all acknowledge the problems in this nation with policing, not police themselves. I don't fault police at all. I'm a big supporter, as are you. Mm-hmm. But there is a disconnect between community and police for right or wrong. And the more fences we can mend, and you know how much you could do in some of these hot spots in the country. You think Chicago, Minnesota, Baltimore, L.A., where you really have disconnects going. Imagine what $90 million on the ground, targeted in those regions, could do to certain communities. Mm-hmm. To come to, we've seen rival gangs come together. Jenny talked about it.
Right.
Rival gangs put their guns down to fucking cook together.
Make coffees. They were baristas.
Coffees. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. It took one simple connection to go, we don't have to shoot each other. We can become entrepreneurs together and fucking kill it in this world.
You could.
Yeah, you can. So imagine what $90 million
There's not
targeted.
Money in that. The money is in the division.
But there is money for the actual black lives that are affected in a positive way.
Look, I don't. When that happens, then the money goes away.
Yeah.
So you have to perpetuate
the problem. The problem I always had with Black Lives Matter wasn't, like that they didn't have good intentions or whatever. It was that it was so obviously based on a bullshit narrative. Like that was the crux of the problem that I had was like, okay, if we can't be honest about what's going on here, we can acknowledge the trouble. We've long acknowledged the different troubles in communities. Schools are bullshit and not getting better. They're getting worse. The education that these kids are getting is bullshit, not getting better. It's getting worse. And no one seems to be caring about the family parental unit, fathers staying in the house and helping raising these kids. Like all of these things are at historic level problems. Yeah. And, something needs to be done. I don't know what me as a person does or what you individually as a person does. But when you have a group like this that organizes and rallies hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever, and then you see the reporting come in and it's like, oh, yeah, her brother's fucking getting $1 million for security. Yeah. And she, your fucking brother, your father's getting this. And it stinks.
It does.
Stinks.
And I hope people are held accountable. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I hope so too, man.
No,
it's too bad. It's so easy to spin. Like, of course, they're targeting the black person who's trying to make a difference in Black lives.
Again,
so
anywhere I give my money, I would expect open books. I would expect full audit. I want to know what is being done.
Right. James says, Massey, really?
Yeah. Well.
I'm surprised that hate-filled lib hasn't towed a shotgun trigger yet.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's James. Yeah. If you're listening, Mike, don't worry. James says that about a lot of us.
That's true.
Make sure you let him tell us how much he loves the job Soup is doing. I'm dying to hear how warped the lawyer's thinking is. Yeah. I'll tell you right now. Doesn't matter. It's not even worth asking the question. He thinks Soup is the greatest president ever, probably. Anything that's not Trump. A bowl of soup, glass of water. Mm-hmm. But he, honestly, for whatever reason, I don't see it. He thinks, James, that you or me or Troy are the
keep my name out your mouth.
Most insane people in the world. Anybody that could vote for Trump is the most insane person on planet Earth. I would say the same thing about anybody that could vote for Biden, but whatever. It is what it is. We're going to have to find a way to get past that.
Yeah, hopefully. That's exactly right.
It's just we're seeing two different movies play out on screens they're just different movies. We think we're watching the same thing and we're not. But I'm tired of telling liberals they're fucking insane, and I know they think I'm insane. So what are you going to do?
You're not going to change each other's mind, exactly.
Should we shoot each other? Or should we just go, fuck it, all right, believe what you believe, man, whatever. Oh, bone job.
Oh, okay.
School boards. Dear Ed, hold on. I want that to catch on.
Excellent.
Hold on. For those that don't know or new, my nephew, Marshall, says stuff like, hold on, instead of hold on. Mm-hmm. He says D instead of daddy. So he'd be like, where's D? And so I can't stop saying it now. I don't, the word daddy doesn't exist in my vocabulary, neither does hold. It's hold on. And I would get into these screaming matches with the Marshall where we're both going, hold on, like trying to finish our points. Mm-hmm. And it's my favorite thing. So to see Bone Job recognize that, hold on. I love that. Calm down, Roops. Perhaps school boards work differently in your high-dollar district. The rest of us have a different situation. The school board is an advocate for the parents. However, in my district, as well as the district my wife teaches in, that is not the case. The teachers union pours tons of money into the candidates they want elected. Then there is no division. The staff and board can push any agenda they want, and there's nothing us parents can do other than pull our kids and pay for private school. I have a 12-year-old that I was registering for middle school, and on the forms we filled out, we had to let them know what her pronouns were. She hasn't hit puberty yet, and our school board is unwilling to hear a reasonable argument of why that might be an issue. There's no way to get elected unless you find money to combat the union advertising. It is a complete racket. The public education system is pushing an agenda. You may agree with the agenda, but you cannot disagree it is being pushed. With love, Bonchum. And that's, I think, my whole point to Ed.
It's true.
You might agree with the agenda being pushed. Mm-hmm. Clearly you do.
Yep.
But you can't fucking argue that it's not being agenda pushed.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean. Like, okay, that's where the disconnect is.
Exactly.
It's sort of like the censorship thing. Okay, great. It's going your way. You're all for it. But let's take a step back and go, is that really what's best? Yeah, because fuck them.
Yeah.
Oh, what about when it's fuck you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then we'll riot. Okay?
Exactly right.
Then we'll riot.
That's how that works.
Ed Grabo sent a message.
No way.
Through Patreon.
Okay.
So he just joined. He was. I'm guessing. I don't want to speak for the LSD division.
Yeah.
At Radio for One, but
he's feeling a little pressure, I believe.
Yeah, I think Grabo was because he was just too supportive over the years to go dark.
Yep.
Now he is a libtard, so he could have just been like, you know what, I've had enough of these.
He's been front and center Nazis on the emails and stuff. Like it wasn't going to go onto the radar. It wasn't going to go unnoticed.
No, and the LSD was let's just say they were
zeroing in.
Yeah, their troops were being compiled. They were being flown in. So Ed said, yeah, I tried to add it a while ago, Patreon, but it was by far the hardest one I have had to add. He's one of the smartest guys I know. Okay.
For the record, I think that's the first complaint of anyone the whole time. Like I couldn't figure it out or I had any problems.
Yeah, well, he did. I take him at his word.
Okay.
He's an honorable man.
We'll go back to maybe on the spectrum part.
He might be. I don't know. For some reason, I could not get it to come up when looking in Discover.
Okay.
This is true.
Do you listen to the show?
No, not always.
/TDC Podcast.
Yeah. Patreon.com/TDC Podcast. When I did it through the Facebook link, it took me to a different sign-in than my normal Patreon app. I had the wrong sign-in for my account. I, for some reason, used an email I very, very rarely use to sign up for Patreon.
Oh, the porn account.
This was the first time it was ever an issue because everything else comes up when I use the Discover feature. No rush, but at some point, do you think they will put the normal show in the RSS link? No big deal, just easier to have one to click on for all content.
I have to look to see how that is. I don't know how that works.
Set that aside.
Yeah.
I think they did something like that so that Patreon members can get, whenever we drop new exclusive content, it goes automatically to the app for them.
Yeah, I don't know what their guidelines is because I mean they're not just like they're. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll look into it.
Yeah. Okay. Work from home. Work from home. All right. Bone Job takes issue with you.
Shocker.
Those fucking last two holdouts at our office kicking it home while I'm picking up their slack. T-Roy is absolutely correct, and sorry, Mike, you're wrong. These two parasites have a 15-minute commute. Mine is an hour. Unfortunately, the plebes in the San Francisco Bay Area have kidnapped the social norms and hold their bosses hostage. We even had an employee take maternity leave during COVID, got paid for spitting out a pup, and we called her to resume work. She resigned. Good riddance. There's a reason why chicks makes less than men. I think he means Wimixon.
Wimixon.
Yeah, he didn't mean chicks. He meant there's a reason why Wimixon make less than men. Every worker who signed on to their job before the pandemic should be required to return to their regularly scheduled program like a normal, responsible, valuable person. Keep up the good work, guys. Love the show.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, yep.
T-Roy.
One for the good guys.
I'm glad you feel vindicated. However, don't put words in my mouth.
Uh-oh.
Keep his words out your fucking mouth.
Okay.
I never claimed the body burned through the floor. Read the original email above. I also never claimed to have any knowledge of how dead bodies decompose. The singular point that I made was I walked into a house where the couch and floor had been cut out because a guy died and had been left there for a long time and then it stunk real bad. I am no expert in dead bodies, nor do I give a single fuck to be one. You are annoyed with people not listening to you about the work from home argument. Not that I'm chiming in on that, but you're doing the same to me. I enjoy the conversation and love you being on the show. If you need my further info, it's below, and Mike has my cell phone. Now I gotta side with T maybe, I think, on this one. Because I read the above email.
I was gonna say, can we get to the original email?
Yeah, we can.
Because there was something, and it wasn't like it just stunk and they cut it out.
Yeah.
Okay, please do. Continue.
Okay. So I think Bone Job, I don't know. We'll see.
Perhaps should have gone through his email chain before sending said message, but let's see. We shall see.
I do investment real estate and often buy homes people died in. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. I remember that.
I do remember this.
But I recently bought one in Royal Oak that takes the cake. A guy died on his couch in the summertime. Not sure how long he had been there, but long enough to melt through the couch, through the floor, and into the basement. Once the family found the body, whoever came to remove the body decided that the best course of action was to cut the floor out in the living room because it was not cleanable. But they left the fucking couch. I have never smelled something so foul in my life. I made it a few steps in the side door and bailed. That said, the house has been completely remodeled. It is for sale at the moment.
Okay. That is what I remember, and it melt is the word. So I will now, circling all the way back, circle back Saki.
Yep.
I will concede two things. One, you fucking said melt through the floor, right? I interpreted that like bloop,
Acidic
bloop, like
bloop,
melting
bloop.
through the floor, like body shape through the couch, through the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, decomposing and seeping into the basement, as our Gary the Dead Body expert
wood cracks
said,
like water would.
exactly like water would.
Right.
Going from there to the basement and then having the floor cut out. Okay. So I see your point. See my point, but I took melting through the floor
To mean
as melting through the floor.
Yeah.
Not oozing through the floor.
Yeah.
So seeping through the floor.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to disagree to agree on this one. Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Take
But I did,
you can
for
each
the
take
record.
half a knee.
Okay.
All right. You can both both brag to your family and friends that you won. But we all know.
This current email.
Yeah.
He did say, I didn't say anything about it. Well, you did, kind of. Melted through the floor.
All right, we were making headway.
Yeah, well,
Let's just leave it where it was. I'm sure Bone Job will have a nice retort coming back.
Okay, that's
All right,
okay.
let's kill it there, T.
Good enough.
My voice is fucking shot.
Yep.
And yeah, I should put it on ice.
Let's
for
do
the night.
that.
Okay.
All right, Miss Say.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us. Certainly appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.